I told you Joseph would come back. So,
I did come.
Me and Joseph just saw the new Planet of the Apes movie.
You gotta say the full title.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. First complaint, fucking hate the title. Just call it Kingdom of the Apes. Like, what the fuck?
Just say Kingdom.
Kingdom. We're gonna call it Kingdom for the sake of time. So this review is gonna be a little different because normally when a new franchise movie comes out, I watch everything else just so I know what I'm talking about in the review. But to be honest with you, I've only seen the reboots of the Planet of the Apes. But Joseph here has seen all of them. Would you consider yourself like a big fan of the Planet of the Apes series?
I do, but I guess I can't. I've never met a huge super fan of Planet of the Apes. I just met fans. I feel like that's a underrated franchise that doesn't really get talked about a lot. When you talk about I love the movies.
It's not like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but there's not a fandom behind it.
That's true. Yeah.
So, yeah, I've seen all of them, even the
Tim Burton one.
Yeah, that was kind of bad.
With Abraham Lincoln.
So, bad.
Well, yeah, I've only seen the reboot. I did watch the original years ago. I think when I was a kid at my grandma's house or something. And I don't really remember anything about it. I just remember the opening. I remember when they were in their little sleeping pods. But that's it. But I like these movies. I like the reboot. I think the first one is just kind of okay, but I like the other two a lot. Caesar's a really good character, and the third one is really intense. It's really quiet and somber, and I like movies like those. And some of the writing in the series is a little not great. In the third one at the end, spoilers, but spoilers for War for the Planet of the Apes, but at the end Caesar gets shot with an arrow, and then 3 weeks later he just bleeds out from it. It was what? How did he just made it all the way and then he just decided to die right there? That was a little weird. But no, I like these movies. I just rewatched them yesterday, so it was fresh in my mind in this one, and I was looking forward to it. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Well, I can't wait till they get to movie 9. What are they gonna call it? Fucking.
So that is a for sure thing. They plan 9 movies with the existing trilogy that's already is.
Who knows if I know that this is supposed to be the start of a trilogy for sure.
Yeah, it does feel like that.
Who know? Yeah, for sure. Who knows if they'll make it to movie 9? But at the very least, I think we're gonna get another trilogy.
It's Disney. They're gonna milk this shit.
Oh,
as much as possible.
Oh, this movie did really good in Thursday night opening.
Really?
Yeah, it's the best of the series. So we're getting a sequel. But anyways, let's stop dicking around. Joseph, what'd you think of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes?
Okay. Compared to the others, or just on its own?
Just what'd you think of it?
On its own, it was solid. It was a good movie. For me, I thought the pace was too slow. Brendan has a different opinion on that, but it didn't take away from the movie being good. It's still a good movie, but I just felt like I could have easily, cut 20 minutes, shortened some things, and it would have moved a lot faster. But compared to the original trilogy, I don't put this one over Rise, Dawn, or War.
Of the original trilogy, Dawn is my favorite. Which one's your favorite?
Same.
Dawn? Yeah.
I would do Dawn, War, and then Rise.
Yeah. That's my ranking too. Mm-hmm. I like this movie. I do have issues with it. I think I like it more than Joseph, but I do agree with you. I think I like it more than Rise, but that's it.
James Franco.
Fuck James Franco.
That's Frank Gallagher.
I think I really love the first half of this movie. I thought the first half of this movie was a lot of fun. I was really into it. I think the second half is a big step down, which we'll get into when we get into spoilers. But yeah, I was really into the first half of this movie, and without spoiling it, in the second half, it sort of moves on to something else, and I just don't think that's as interesting.
We've seen it before.
Yeah. It's kind of a repeat of something we've seen before, which I wasn't a fan of. I thought the characters, they weren't bad, but they're not as good as they are in the original trilogy. As much as I don't really care for James Franco's acting in the first one, I think his character, at least the writing of that character, felt like there was more depth there than there was.
The connection he had with Caesar, you felt.
Yeah. William H. Macy's in this movie, who I love. he has nothing to do. Like, he really,
to
like...
the point of why is that even a character?
Yeah. To the point where it's like, why'd you even cast William H. Macy?
He needs work.
Yeah, I guess so.
Not doing much now.
Yeah. Well, Shameless is over, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So, yeah, and I thought the main character of this movie, Noah, he was okay. I thought he was,
The ape.
he was, yeah, I mean, he was okay. He was
our protagonist.
He was generic protagonist character. Maybe not generic, but just like...
He wasn't on the level of Caesar.
No. Caesar is a much better character. Caesar's
more depth there.
Yeah.
Much more connected.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's Andy Serkis or the script. I don't know who motion captured for Noah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's somebody that we know or just unknown.
Yeah. I think it's an unknown. No, yeah. Well, another thing is just like, even the apes, just in general, I felt weren't written as well. Like in the original trilogy, like, for example, like the relationship or like the friendship between Caesar and Maurice.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great friendship. Like, you know, and I really loved how it was written. In this one, there's like a friendship. There's like a friend trio.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I don't know. I've seen it before. You know, I didn't really like get as invested. I mean, I guess Caesar and Maurice had 3 movies and they only have 1.
But even in that first one.
But even in that first, yeah, exactly.
There was, yeah.
And this just felt like a generic friend trio, you know? Like, you've seen friend trios in a lot of movies, like, you know, like Harry Potter with Hermione, and then Peter Parker and Harry and MJ. It's been done a lot.
So many examples.
Yeah. Yeah, Percy Jackson with Annabeth and Grover, you know? Yeah, it's been done. A lot of things in this movie I feel like it's been done, you know? We'll get into spoilers right now, but before we do, I would give this movie a 7. I think there's definitely potential for this trilogy. There's definitely a lot you can do here, but there's definitely also room for improvement. I thought this movie was alright. I enjoyed it. I think it drags in the middle, and I think there's some things that were a little disappointing. But I would recommend it. I think if you really, really love, like, if you're a huge Planet of the Apes fan, I can't imagine that you'll hate this movie, but it's not on the level as Dawn or War, at least not for me. It's probably better than the Tim Burton one, but...
Oh, yeah.
but that's it.
Yeah, I would agree. I would think this is a solid 7.
Yeah.
Because I would put Dawn in at like a 9, and then War like 8.5, and then Rise at 8, so...
Yeah.
I would put this at a 7.
Yeah.
That works with me.
Yeah. So let's get into spoilers now. So yeah, I mentioned I thought the first half was a lot better than the second half, and that's because the first half, maybe not the entire first half, but it's focused, like Noah, he meets this ape named Rocca, who's really funny. His voice was cool. It reminded me of the guy from the Arby's commercials. And he's like, he's really funny, and he's like a
You mean fucking James Earl Jones?
Yeah. he's like, we have the meats. You know, he reminded me of that the whole time. I just kept picturing him voicing an Arby's commercial. No, but yeah.
I'll look up the voice.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it focuses on him, Rocca, and this girl that they meet named May, and it focuses on. I thought that, like, more of the movie was going to be focused on them, like, going across the country to get to their destination, and it's really only a small part of the movie. Like, the poster for this movie is like that, but that's not really what the movie's about, and that was a little disappointing because that was the part of the movie I enjoyed the most. You know, I would have enjoyed more of that because I thought Rocco was a really fun character, and I felt like killing him off was kind of a waste. They could bring him back for sure because it's one of those things where it's like, oh, if you don't see the body, you know. But yeah, I was just kind of like, you didn't killing him off. I expected him to come back later, but I guess he didn't. But yeah, and where this movie really, I don't want to say nosedive, but just kind of drops in quality for me, was when they actually get to the destination.
Peter Macon is the voice of that.
Oh, I know him.
He's from fucking Shameless. He's the black cop.
Damn, they just got the whole cast of that show and just.
That's when I seen him from, when I put up movies and shows.
I know him from the Orville.
Okay, yeah, he's in that. That's the first one that pops up.
Family Guy. Oh shit.
I guess he does a lot of voice acting.
He's got a great voice.
And then Owen Teague is Noah. I don't know
who that is.
So I guess he's in that one.
I kept thinking, like, the main girl May. I was like, I feel like I've seen her before, but I can't think of. What's she's been in?
She was in The Witcher. That's where I
Oh
know
yeah,
her
that's
from.
where I recognize her from. Yeah, Witcher, great show.
Anyways, you were saying, sorry.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, and no worries, man. Yeah, but for me, when the movie kind of drops in quality is when they actually get to the place you see in the trailer with the villain, where he's like, "Oh, what a beautiful day" or whatever. That's where the movie, because at that point I'm like, oh man, we're just kind of doing a repeat of War for the Planet of the Apes, because that movie's basically like a prison escape movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, and that's essentially what the movie is, kind of. And I was just kind of like, that's cool and all, but like,
We've done that already.
we've done that already. Let's do something different. You know, it would have been cool if it was just a more straightforward revenge story. If it was just about like Noah just trying to kill.
That's what
Proximus.
War was, though.
Yeah, you're right.
It was apes against humans, where now it's apes against.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right. Yeah, it kind of was, because in War they kill his family, and then in this one they kill his family. Yeah, it really was just War again. The movie, oh, Jesus, the movie does pick up in the last like 20 minutes. I think the last 20 minutes are, they're cool. It's got action and it's got a cool ending. Like the last like minute of the movie is pretty cool. It sets up a sequel pretty well, and
It sets up a sequel, but not, I guess, in a way that I was expecting.
yeah.
Because I don't know if they're following exactly of the originals that came out like in the 60s and 70s storyline. Like, I don't know, like you said, 9 movies, if we're getting to that.
I don't think so. I think it might be a similar like idea.
Because yeah, like the original,
they're gonna do something different.
the other trilogy with Caesar, it is a prequel to Planet of the Apes. It does serve as that, but I thought it more as Caesar's journey, like his trilogy, his story.
Yeah, and this is gonna be Noah's story, I guess.
So you want to talk about the end of the movie?
Yeah, let's do it.
So,
well, actually, before we get to that, what did you think of the second half of the movie where he finally gets to the thing?
okay, so I'm the opposite of Brandon. I actually thought like the first half is where
It was
I
slow?
felt it dragged, but I felt like it was necessary to feel that because it says in the beginning many generations have passed.
Gotta establish what the world is like.
We're
now.
establishing what the world is, our characters, the norm, and then where do we go from here with our characters. I just felt like it took a while to get going. Like once Noah met up with Raka and May, I feel like then the movie starts to pick up. I feel like that was a good 30 minutes before that happened. It sounds southern right now. But yeah,
I really like the apes.
I just felt it was a little slower than I thought. Like I said, I could have cut like 20 minutes, maybe just to shorten the time. Which it was only 2 hours and 20 minutes, so I felt like, it didn't feel long. But
I will say this: Dune was longer, but it didn't feel that way.
I don't know, man.
The second Dune.
Oh, okay.
yeah. I was talking about the second one.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was like, the first one felt fucking.
The first one is long, but yeah. So go ahead and talk about the ending of the movie, because he knows more about this shit than I do. So I'm gonna let him.
So in the original, like I'm talking like 69, I think, the astronauts come crashing down on this planet with no knowledge of anything that's on it, thinking it's a whole planet run by apes, and at the end the big twist is they see the Statue of Liberty and they figure out it's planet Earth that got took over by apes. Well, at the end of this movie, once they get into the vault, May takes a drive and she goes back to this base. It looks like Midwest somewhere.
Yeah.
Based on the fields, and it gives it to these people that have been quarantined, I guess, inside this military base. They have these antennas, and they send out a message, which I'm assuming is to the astronauts in outer space. Wait, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
When they were talking to it said, "We're from Indiana."
Okay, then. Okay, because in Rise, in the background for one scene, or in the end credits of that movie, they were talking about, it was like on the news that astronauts are going up into orbit.
Yeah.
And then either Dawn or Ward, they had some confirmation that they were still up there. But then that doesn't make any sense because it's been many generations.
So they wouldn't just in space.
Yeah, so they wouldn't fucking make any sense of that way. They just would be up there. So then maybe not. Okay.
They would all be dead.
Yeah. So okay, maybe it doesn't even matter. So you said they're from India or India?
Indiana?
Indiana.
Yeah, he's like, we're from Indiana. It's good to hear
then
from
maybe
somebody.
They're just making contact with other humans. So does that mean we're just gonna have another war between humans
because we haven't seen that
Apes.
before. That's what it was setting up. I think the end of the movie with like the confrontation between Noah and
because
May.
she had the gun behind her back.
Yeah, I think that's setting up like this trilogy is gonna be about like kind of like how
Well, we just did that.
I know, but you know how in the last one it was like Caesar versus the Colonel.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be that, but for the next two movies, or at the very least the next one. I don't think that character's that well written. I think she's fine.
Well, I thought Noah, like, I know they went back to their original clan where they were, originally from. So I'm like, oh, maybe he's gonna take on the Caesar role, but do it right.
Yeah.
In that kingdom. That's why I had thought maybe that would be going forward.
Yeah. That's another thing. This is another issue I kind of have. It's not really an issue, but it was kind of distracting how much they mentioned Caesar in this. Like every 5 seconds, especially in the first half, every 5 seconds, it's like Caesar did this and Caesar did that and Caesar
was like the god.
I know, but it's like, God damn, I get it. I know what they're trying to do with Caesar. It's like, God damn, you don't need to.
It's like the same two religious people talk about God.
Yeah, I guess so. But I like how the movie started out with Caesar's funeral. That was cool. But that's all you needed. You didn't need them to mention.
I told Brandon, like, you think they got Andy Serkis back just to lay down there?
Absolutely, dude. Easiest paycheck of his life, and good for him. He's a great actor.
I'm surprised he didn't produce this or keep him involved in it, because I feel like this is kind of like his baby. Like, he had the most when it came to motion capture. Like, he kind of pioneered that shit.
Yeah, it was like, I remember when the movie came out, people were like, "Damn, should he get it? This is the first year like a motion capture actor is gonna get nominated." Hey, he's coming back as Gollum, so. Do you hear about that?
For Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
What is that exactly? Like
I think it's just no. I think it's like a spin-off about Gollum, like a prequel, which that doesn't, like, I don't know. Every Lord of the Rings spin-off is kind of shit, but
I think you diluted more the more to add to it.
Well, we'll see. I don't
Star
know.
Wars.
I guess we'll see. But back to the apes. Apes together strong. Rocco is my favorite character. He was great.
And he was in it for like 30 minutes.
What did you think of the villain? Proximus Caesar, I think was his name.
Mm-hmm. I was excited for that actor, that motion capture. I don't know if you ever seen him. I think he was in Real Steel. He was that cowboy prick.
I've seen Real Steel. I think I know what you're talking about.
And he was in X-Men Origins. He was Blob.
Oh, Blob. Bub. Did you just call me Blob?
So he's that actor.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
So I was kind of excited, like, oh, maybe you get a cool, prick, because he plays that kind of villain.
Yeah, he does.
Role.
Did you just call me Blob?
But then, as the movie progressed, I was like,
he's not doing anything.
Yeah, he wasn't in it as much as they had, promoted and like put him on the posters and trailers, and it was kind of like it was more his lieutenant the whole first half, and even at the end going against Noah underwater with the pipes.
That's that gorilla. I feel like that gorilla had more of a personal connection with Noah than.
So I was kind of like, I don't know, the villain was kind of.
He just didn't do anything,
He just sat there and twisted Caesar's words.
Twisted his mustache, sat in his throne, talked about how evolution, whatever.
Yeah. They didn't really show much else in that vault besides the fucking tanks, guns, and then books and whatnot. I was thinking there was more in there.
That part went on so long. It was like a 10-minute sequence of them just like going into this vault, and it's really like dark, and you can't. It's just that was my least favorite part of the movie. I'm like, God damn, this scene is going on a long ass time. But thankfully, it picked up after that, and I agree with you about the villain. He didn't really, I don't know.
There was a lot of characters that just kind of came in here to fill a role or a purpose, and then boom, they were done after that role or purpose was done.
Yeah, like his friends are just there to be his friends.
His friends, Rocco to a certain extent, William H. Macy's character, and then
that was such a waste.
Villain. So I feel like, I don't know, they had a structure of this story of where they wanted to go, but then nothing much further. I guess that's why it feels kind of generic in that sense.
It does. It feels like they're saving a lot of stuff for the next movies that are coming out.
But the thing is, if we're right about what they're saving, and we're going to the humans uprising now against the apes,
yeah,
I felt like, well, it's just gonna be more of the same. Where's the originality? What's gonna keep me going to the next one that's gonna be different?
Yeah, this movie it was very derivative,
and that's why I felt like, oh, maybe they're gonna go towards the originals were astronauts coming back, and they find out like, oh, well,
I guess
they're not, because it wasn't specific as how long time has been since Caesar died. It just said many generations.
I looked it up. They said it was about 300 years.
But it doesn't feel like that.
It does not feel like 300
less
years.
than 100.
Yeah, like maybe 78.
Yeah,
you know,
so like it hasn't felt like it's been that long. And there's nobody from the original trilogy that carries over, besides just the mention of Caesar.
No.
That's it. Not even Maurice or any of the other Apes rocket.
Yeah, Maurice was. That is strange because it's like after Caesar died, I'm assuming Maurice took the leadership role, but they never meant like he didn't do anything. Like they didn't mention him at all. I would assume he did something.
Because they show Cornelius at Caesar's funeral. I'm thinking like, oh, from the trailers, I had thought the main ape
was Cornelius.
But no, it's a whole different ape. I'm like, well then why would you focus on Cornelius?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the rest. Like I thought that was gonna be like Caesar's, his what's the word I want to use?
What do you mean? Like it being passed down?
Yeah, through his blood, like through his bloodline.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Like if Noah's gonna be like Cornelius' son, and we see like old Cornelius telling stories about
that would have
his
been cool.
Father, but he just said many generations, something like, oh.
I get what you mean. Like
when he said father, I'm like, oh, we're gonna see Cornelius, and I'm like, oh, that's not Cornelius.
I've never seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but like every season of that show is like the son of the last character. Like, is that what you mean?
Sure, I have no idea what that series is.
Yeah, I've never seen it either, but I think the first season is about a guy, and the next season is about his son, and the next season is about that guy's son.
Fucking Korra, like where
Tenzin
is Aang's son.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. Okay. So I get what you mean. It's like not an anthology, but like every season's a
passed down to the next.
Yeah. That would have been cool. That would have been
Because it
would have been cool if they just mentioned that like Noah's like Caesar's like great grandson or something.
Noah had like a mark right here. I'm like, I remember Caesar having that in like Rise.
Yeah.
So I thought like maybe they are related, and they kind of look similar.
Well, they all look similar. Well, they all look similar.
Watch your words.
I didn't mean it like that. No.
Anyways.
Yeah, no. I get what you mean. I think maybe they imply it because it's many generations later, so they might. And it starts out with Caesar, so I think they are implying.
Why wouldn't you do that if it was not?
Maybe it'll be a reveal in the next one. That like
going to be a twist.
Maybe
he's related.
Noah will find out that Caesar was his great grandfather or whatever. I don't know. They might do that.
Well, that sucks. We figured it out now.
We're just smart like that, dude.
No, they're lazy writing. I like a twist that I never see coming.
Yeah, but don't you feel that satisfaction when you like have like a fan theory and then it gets like, and you're like, oh, I was right.
But I feel myself that I am not a smart person. So if I'm able to
You wear glass? You're an engineer, dude. Like,
that don't mean nothing. Anyone can get an engineering degree.
Oh man, this is true. I predicted Thanos dying in the first 5 minutes of Endgame. I predicted that, and I felt so smart when I was sitting in the theater. I was like, God damn, fucking hire me to be a screenwriter. Shit. Anyways, but what were we talking about? The apes?
Yeah, they all look alike.
No, I didn't. Well, they do, man. They're all fucking. No, okay, so
You're like, I digress.
You know. No, yeah. The fuck? No, yeah. I mean, the villain of this movie is not as good as Koba. Koba was awesome. He was like Ape Magneto.
And we didn't really have a human villain, really. Usually,
she was kind of the villain,
I guess. Okay, yeah. Well,
she was like, she wasn't really the.
She wasn't the villain, but she had her own agenda as well.
Yeah, she was against Noah. Mm-hmm. It was like. She's an antagonist, I guess. And she definitely will be.
Because usually in all the other ones we have a male antagonist. Rise was...
Logan Roy.
No, it was the guy that played Martin Luther King.
Oh, yeah, that guy. The one that Koba drops at the end.
Or some shit like that.
I don't know.
And then in Dawn was Gary Oldman. And then War was...
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson. So
I love Woody Harrelson.
There was always... Yeah, but that role... I love him, but like some of the roles he does, like Carnage.
I wish Eminem made another version of his Venom song, but it was Carnage. It was like Carnage. Woody Harrelson's best role is Natural Born Killers.
And I feel like that's why they got him for Carnage.
Oh yeah,
But
he was a better Cletus Cassidy in that movie.
He just came out too goofy.
Yeah, that movie's not great. I still haven't seen Madam Web yet, by the way, but I'll get to it. The CG was good.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like, let's see, the CG in all of them holds up pretty well.
It's just the performance didn't like wow me like.
No, Andy Serkis
or like Andy Serkis. Like,
you're right. Andy Serkis like really killed that role, and in this one, I was like, yeah, he was fine. Maybe it's just because the writing for Noah wasn't as good.
Well, that's why I felt like I said Andy Serkis. I feel like he would have produced. Has been more behind the scenes. Like, you know what? Let me help you guys out. I started this. So let me make sure you guys.
He could have played another character, and it wouldn't have mattered. It's not like you're seeing Andy Serkis again.
He's played so much. He's played King Kong, Gollum, Caesar, Snoke. I mean, he's played so much shit.
Oh yeah, he was Snoke. I forgot about that. He was in Star Wars twice. He was Snoke, and then he was in Andor. So why couldn't they do the same here? He could have played another character. Maybe he was busy.
Never saw that.
You never saw Andor?
I saw Black Panther.
But you haven't seen Andor?
He had a blast in that movie. I can tell he had a lot of fun because he actually got to play a real guy.
Yeah, I like that. I like the movie. When he shoots, he's like...
It's fucking Alfred.
Oh, he was Alfred, you're right.
Even though he was in...
I love the part where he blew up and then the first thing Bruce said to him was...
You lied to me.
Yeah, like, goddamn, give him a break, dude. Like, goddamn.
That's the first thing I want to hear.
Quit being an asshole. No, Andy Serkis. Did you know Andy Serkis directed the second Venom movie?
Yeah.
What the That's the most, like, weird fact I've heard.
He also directed that Jungle Book movie for Netflix.
Yeah, I never saw that. I know what you're talking about. It was called, like, Mowgli or something.
I saw the first 10 minutes as well. I don't think he's that good of a director.
No. He's a great actor, though. Mm-hmm. Wonderful actor.
Sorry,
good? No, that's it.
Cars behind us.
Oh, man. You know, the theater we were in was packed. And
it was. When I was looking at the tickets the other day, there's like no seats filled. And this morning, I was like, oh, shit. So I was surprised. Like I said, like Apes makes enough money at the box office, I feel like, to make more. But, like, it's not like a huge...
It makes just
franchise.
enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see a lot of... Like, people see these movies, but there's not a huge following for them. You get what I mean?
I think that's why, like, I it's weird because when I go online and I see people talk about like the reboot trilogy, they're always like, oh, they're so awesome. Like I know somebody where War for the Planet of the Apes is his favorite movie, like ever. Like everybody that's seen it loves them, but people never mention that trilogy when they're talking about like the best trilogies, like Back to the Future or Toy Story or Godfather or whatever.
That's the first trilogy you named, Back to the Future.
Well, it was just the first one that came to mind.
It's the same movie. It's the same movie every movie.
Dude, I like the Back to the
No,
Future.
I know, but it's the same thing every movie.
It's still one of the better trilogies out there. It has more good movies than the Godfather trilogy. Godfather 3 is garbage.
I wouldn't know.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, dude, you should watch.
I've never seen.
Have you seen the first Godfather?
No.
What the fuck?
People look at me because that's like the movie, but I've never got the chance.
The second one's the best one.
Yeah, that's when he's younger, right? When it's
yeah.
Pacino and
the second one's great. The third one's garbage, but it's kind of funny.
So it's like Spider-Man.
Yeah. What's your favorite trilogy ever?
Like, as in, like, all of them are good, or just I enjoy?
Just like just your favorite. There's a lot to pick from. There's Star Wars, the original Star Wars. There's Jurassic Park, Matrix.
I don't know, Shrek and Toy Story are up there for me.
Shrek? Even with Shrek the third?
Like I said that all of them are good, or just I like. Shrek 3 has, some parts that are funny, but overall it's like...
Shrek 3 is kind of mid. Toy Story is a good trilogy until they made a fourth one.
Yeah,
bullshit. You know they're making another fucking Finding Nemo movie? Who the fuck are they gonna lose this time? Is like the dad gonna get Alzheimer's? They gotta find him now?
Maybe Nemo's grown up and he has his babies. God, same thing happens. We gotta get Grandpa Marlin. And Grandma Dory.
I fucking hate Finding Dory. That movie's garbage.
Wait, how come the fuck can they do another one? Didn't Ellen get canceled?
What? Oh yeah, you're right.
Maybe. Or she just got her show canceled.
Her show got canceled because she was like, an asshole to her staff. Yeah. Making Incredibles 3, which sure, I didn't really care for Incredibles 2, but. Anyways, what were we talking about? What movie did we see?
Damn Dirty Apes.
Damn Dirty Apes. Yeah.
So yes, this is like the second best movie we've seen out of like 6.
So we've seen Ant-Man, which sucked. We saw The Flash, which sucked, but I kind of liked it.
It was mid, I guess.
It was, it was on
perfectly mediocre.
It was on TV the other day, and I just like put it on, and I was like, God damn, this is an ugly movie. Like,
the whole bad thing is the CGI.
It was the scene where he was saving all the babies, and I was like, oh,
that's what really kills the movie.
It's an ugly ass movie. So we saw that, and then what did we see next? It was The Creator, which I don't fucking remember that shit. Five Nights at Freddy's, which was movie of the year for sure. Really like that.
It made for a fun time.
Dude, I didn't hate that movie. I know it's bad.
I didn't hate it.
I had a good time.
Funny to think about, like, we live in a world where this movie exists.
Matt Pat was in it. and then Dune. He wasn't in the review for Dune, but Dune was good. What'd you think of Dune since you didn't?
I mean, it's been what, 2 months now since?
Yeah, but you remember it, right?
I remember you and Carrie again, like, so excited for Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, that was crazy, dude. I didn't know she was in it. I was like, oh shit. And then that was my Toby and Andrew showing up.
Wow. Can't believe you said that. You get that high.
That was a bigger deal to me.
And then that sex scene was Zendaya and Timothy, and she's like, in the sand though?
Yeah, that's like the worst place to do it.
I think the movie was... Austin
Butler kissed his uncle.
It was really good, but like the whole time I kept thinking like, damn, Star Wars really got a lot from this. There's a lot. I'm like, man, I've seen this from Star Wars, even though this came first.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I could see where George got a lot of inspiration from. But overall, it was...
My boy George.
I enjoyed it more than the first one, because the first one I just felt, God, it was just too much talking and too slow. And then I think when things finally started got interesting, it fucking ended.
It was over.
Like, God damn it. But no, Dune was really good.
Yeah,
it was a long movie.
Yeah, I really hope the third one is like actually good and not like the third Matrix movie where it's like, fuck those other movies. I'm just gonna do my own thing. And you're like, well, you just fucked everybody.
I think it'll take a while for them to make it though.
Yeah, I heard the story for the third one was wild, but then again, they might change.
And Zendaya's schedule's pretty packed right now.
Yeah, I still haven't seen Challengers. I gotta see that.
I heard it was good.
Yeah, I heard it was good too. I heard it's really exciting. Not because of that. Anyways, so Kingdom of the Planet of Dawn of the Rise of My Dick of the Planet of the Apes was pretty good.
You got a kingdom of your dick?
It's really big. Anyways, what would you give it from 1 to 10?
7.
I agree.
7.
I would give it a 7. I was like at an 8 for like the first half.
It's another good entry into the franchise. I'm interested to where they will make a sequel, but I'm interested how long or can they keep the story interesting before people start, like, all right, it's same old now.
Planet of the Apes is a big franchise, but I don't know if it's big enough where you can make 9 movies out of it. You know what I mean?
Disney.
No, I just mean like, are you going to be able to keep people's attention for that long?
They did it with Marvel and Star Wars.
Yeah, but like Pirates of the Caribbean, by the time they got to the 5th one, nobody cared, Well,
it's because they kept getting rid
even
of
Marvel.
the original characters at that point.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, even Marvel, like, now, I mean, it took a while, but now people are kind of less interested in that. Like, do you really think Planet of the Apes is gonna... You think it'll make it to, like, 9 movies? I don't think it will. I think at the most, it'll finish this trilogy that we're in right now.
It depends on the story, honestly. If you write a good story...
People will show up.
Yeah.
I think that's a big factor nowadays, more than it ever has been. Like, I feel like word of mouth is like Puss in Boots 2, like, that movie made a lot of money because everybody was like, this movie fucking goes hard. But like, like The Fall Guy just came out and apparently it wasn't that good, and apparently it's bombing, So
Ryan Gosling cannot pull an audience to save his life.
Dude, that movie, that trailer.
Every movie he's in, have you noticed, has fucking low box office numbers besides Barbie. Even Blade Runner.
Blade Runner bombed. Blade Runner is a good movie.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, he can't pull an audience.
That movie feels like a movie they made for Ryan Reynolds and he wasn't available, so they're like, fuck it, let's get another Ryan. Anyways, so thanks to Joseph for being in the review. He's in a lot of reviews, and he'll be in more. Who knows what the next one will be?
Not very.
You want to go see Garfield?
Doesn't that come out like in Christmas?
I have no fucking idea when that comes out. No, yeah, Joseph will be back. Love this guy. He'll be back. Thank you all for watching. I know I've been kind of slacking on the reviews this year, but hopefully with the summertime, there's a lot of movies coming out this summer.
That would be better than last year.
Last year's summer was ass. Man. Last year, that entire year, in terms of movies, was like kind of bad.
I mean, only good movies.
It got better near the end.
Spider-Verse was good. Oppenheimer was good.
Barbie was good.
You know, we have different opinions. Mission Impossible was, you know.
The end of the year was good because that's when all the Oscar movies started coming out, like the Holdovers.
I'm gonna be honest, I thought the Oscar movies were weak this year.
Really?
Did you ever see Iron Claw?
I still haven't seen it. It just got a Max though.
That movie got snubbed big time.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I've never cried so hard at a movie.
Oh, you saw it?
Oh yeah.
Well, I know what happens in it because I know like the real story.
That is hardcore.
Yeah.
Just
kind of have to.
Depressing.
I gotta prepare myself for that movie.
Like, fuck.
Did you see The Whale?
No, I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's another sad one. I was surprised that one didn't get nominated.
I saw the ending one time when I walked in when we were still working at Cinemark when we were showing it.
Yeah. We used to work at a movie theater. Fun fact.
Like, well, it's been
a while.
It's been like 8 months for me.
It's been like 4 for me. Anyway, yeah. So
that's where we met.
That's where we met. Yeah. So I hope you guys like Joseph because he's going to be sticking around for a while.
And if you don't, that's okay.
And if you don't, well then
it's YouTube.
That's your loss. If you don't like me, then why the fuck are you still watching this? I'm in every video. But yeah, next review. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Probably that Imaginary Friends movie coming out, which looks like shit. Yeah, I didn't even finish the trailer. Like I put it on, and then I got like a minute in. I'm like, this looks like shit. I'm not watching this.
Directed and
you know, I haven't seen A Quiet Place, so I don't know how good he is as a director.
You should watch those movies. Those movies.
How many are there?
There's 2.
Oh, really? I thought there were more.
There's 2, and then
the new one coming out.
Yeah, that spin-off.
Is it like a?
It's a spin-off prequel. It's a prequel, but it has nothing to do with the original cast of the first 2.
Oh. Damn. All right, so thank you all for watching. I'll be back with more reviews fucking whenever I come back. Have an awesome day.